I wanted to share with you a technique that has truly changed my self-concept for the better. It is not very often spoken of, which is why I am speaking of it today. I was taught this by someone else, so I can't take any credit for it, but once I started exercising it, it truly became a game changer for me. I think Neville may have touched on it once or twice, and it was fully outlined in the book The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol, if you are interested to find out more. But let me just say, this process is extremely simple. It merely involves you standing in front of a mirror, fairly close up to the mirror, and talking to yourself directly with positive affirmations such as I love myself, I am beautiful, I am successful, I have a perfect body, I look perfect, I really do, etc. Whatever you want to work on about your self-concept, you decide this. Regardless of the affirmations you use, the key to implementing this method effectively is to directly look into your own eyes as you do it. The reason you must look directly into your eyes as you do it, because this is what helps this process to produce substantial results. Mainly, because it's very difficult to be dishonest with yourself when you are looking directly into your own eyes. In the same way, it is very difficult to be dishonest to another person when you are looking directly into their eyes. We all know that one of the primary signs of a person who potentially lies is an inability to hold eye contact with the person they are telling lies to. This same theory applies to the mirror technique, and I will repeat myself here for emphasis. It is extremely hard to lie to yourself when you are looking into your own eyes. You may even find this process challenging to begin with, because it does very much force you to be honest with yourself. I know from personal experience that I found it very difficult in the beginning to successfully affirm positive things about my own self, because I found it very difficult to be dishonest with myself while staring into my own eyes. How might you know the mirror technique is working successfully for you? This is an explanation of the transformative process I went through by implementing this technique. Firstly, you will notice the way people and life itself treat you will begin to be radically different. You will be noticed more, you will be treated differently, you will be complimented more, you may even have people saying to you the words that you are actually saying to yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror. This very much ties in what I spoke of when I said my whole life began to truly change, when I began to assume everyone saw me as a high-value person. Secondly, you will begin to notice that seeing your own mirror reflection begins to always generate a naturally positive response from yourself. Instead of looking in the mirror as most people do, and seeking faults with your appearance or analyzing your physical faults, you will instead see yourself in the mirror and will begin to see perfection looking back at you. You will mentally mutter such things such as, "Don't I look great today? I am so beautiful, who does not want someone like myself?" Or you may even simply just find yourself randomly saying to yourself, "I really do love myself." The power of falling in love with your own physical reflection. To add to this point, you may even find yourself beginning to fall deeply in love with your own mirror image, in the same way Narcissus did. And this is where things really do begin to get interesting. I have noticed that I have got to a point where the mere act of looking in a mirror generates extremely positive emotional responses from within me. I can guarantee you that this never used to be the case. I was a classic example of someone who would look into a mirror and only see physical faults with myself and ignore any of the positive aspects of how I look. The only severe warning I want to add to this is don't do this technique if you hate any form of public attention, because I can guarantee you that once you truly begin to fall in love with who you are in a physical form, you begin to notice yourself generating lots of looks from people in physical settings and the like. Once you begin to change your self-concept radically, the world changes to confirm the changes you have made, as Neville said on many occasions. Change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Do not try to change people, they are only messengers telling you who you are. Revalue yourself and they will confirm the change. I manifested a text from someone within a week. Yes, you heard that right. And you can probably manifest even quicker than that. All I did was decide that someone was going to invite me out, and that's all. Only thought about it once, and decided it was already done. The person I wanted to text me hadn't talked to me in like a week, and that's also how long I've known him. I really wanted to get invited to a party, so I decided he was going to be the one to do so, and he in fact did that. And let me tell you, circumstances do not matter, not one bit at all. Him actually texting me honestly seemed so unlikely, and I even asked my tarot reader if I was going to get invited out again this summer break, and she said no. Well, guess what? I did, and all I did was decide on the fact it was bound to happen, and there was absolutely no reason for it not to. Don't get me wrong, I believe in tarot and use it daily, but don't check your 3D through tarot. If you get a negative outcome, you're most likely to lose hope in your manifestations and give up. But if you've already done that or can't help it, look at my success story. I was told it wouldn't happen, but it did. The thing about tarot is that it's on current energy, and that energy can change in a literal second. And the thing about manifestations is that you cannot fail. You will always get what you want, because you are the creator of your reality. The only reason you get a negative answer is because you're doubting yourself, and as I said, tarot is based on current energy. If you keep being in that doubtful state, then you're chasing off your manifestations. But if you change your self-concept and believe, then I can 100% guarantee you, it will happen. Manifesting is as easy as breathing, and you will see that once you get rid of resistance. Some would say the less resistance you have, the quicker you'll manifest. And that's why I got that text so quickly. I'm hung up on manifesting an ex, so as soon as I redirected my energy from the text back to my ex, I got it instantly. And that's because I didn't have time to doubt myself or get in my own way. Now imagine how quickly you'd manifest your desires, if you got the whole mental diet thing down and put your energy towards it. It could literally manifest within a minute. Oh, but that's not possible. A minute is too short of a time frame. That's a limiting belief, and I'm here to tell you. That is absolutely not true. If you really believe that is possible, who's there to say it isn't? Your assumptions create your reality. So if you automatically assume it isn't possible, guess what? Then it isn't. But if you assume it is possible, then it will happen. Your 3D has no choice, but reflect back onto your 4D. Anything is possible if you believe it is, and I mean anything, so don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Manifesting is all about having fun. You're creating resistance by being so fixated on doing it right and techniques. Techniques is just a tool to help you get into that end state, and you can never manifest wrong, so don't even think about that. You are a god walking around Earth as a human, and as a god you have the ability to create what you want. Doesn't that sound fun? Exactly, so do whatever you want and believe in your ability to manifest your desired reality.
I both manifested almost overnight weight loss and changed my literal fucking bone structure in my legs because I visualized it, felt the sensations of my legs as my desired bone structure, and here it is. Let me tell you something. When I noticed my weight loss manifestation came to be, it shocked me because I thought I was sick, so I went to the ER. Everything came back fine. Thyroid? Fine. Electrolytes? Fine. Blood pressure and pulse? Fine. So I went home, surprised as hell that it had come true, but still only slightly on the fence. The day before this I was at the mall with my friends, and I just kept affirming over and over again. I didn't really know when or if it would happen, but here we are. So the next day, yesterday, I thought about something else that was physical that I wanted to see on myself. I spent all day wearing clothes that made it easier to visualize and making active efforts to disconnect from the 3D. I played a subliminal video, yes, they absolutely work, just choose a good one, and spent much of the day just acting and focusing on the sensation of having my legs look how I wanted. For the record, I wanted smaller thighs. At the end of the day was when I truly detached from the 3D and enough to go into the bathroom, look in the mirror, and there it was. I was so super excited I couldn't sleep until midnight. I know it's hard to believe when you learn about it, when people talk about it. It seems like maybe it's just coincidence or something. It's not. Not at all. Your reality is a sandbox. You really can control everything. All you have to do is stay present, focus on what you want, and the more you do this, the more your brain accepts it as happening. Here's some really good advice that I want to share. If you script that you're so good at manifesting. Gas yourself up. If you want, do what I did and write that doing so and so, or every time I do so and so, my manifestations come true more quickly. I trust information about manifesting and I trust my manifestations. And this is an absolutely fantastic method because this will even help you disconnect from the 3D more efficiently if you say it over and over. You'll learn to be patient and not stress, because what you want, you've gotten, you're getting anything. Don't even overthink it. At first it's difficult, and then it gets so easy, and your world is just to be shaped to your own desired reality. One more thing. I had little money on my old-fashioned debit card today and I was doubting that I could even get the coffee I wanted. As I was entering the cafe I envisioned how I felt getting my coffee, how it felt to get what I wanted, and now I love my beautiful life even more than I did before. Be thankful for what you have, develop that habit of being thankful even for being alive and being able to do this, and you can have literally anything. Everything in your 3D world is just catching up, you already have everything you could ever want.